I was muted there. Sorry, folks. Tomorrow on ESPN, the ACC network, Charleston Southern comes to Clemson. We may love our team, but let's just ask ourselves, who cares? Before I get to that very pessimistic subject, I'm Brian. I am not Bobby Durkins, at least not here. Take off my glasses. I have a glare there. It looks ridiculous. If you're brand new here, thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe if you want to support the channel. If you have been watching me, but you haven't subscribed and you want to support the channel, please do so just by, hitting the subscribe button. Also, if you want to support the channel on a monthly basis, there is a join button. So it's like a $3 and a $5 tier. So if you want to support the channel there or give a super thanks tonight for one time, please do that. I do appreciate it. So, folks, tonight is really interesting in itself because, well, even when I started this live stream, I was muted. My camera cords and my cords was out of place. It's almost just like everything is out of sync when it comes to Clemson football and anybody who gives a rat's rear end about Clemson football. 5 days ago, we were excited. You and I were excited to watch Clemson football. We looked at the defense. We knew that the defense was stacked. Barrett Carter had been receiving so much attention. Did you hear what he said this week? Did you hear what Barrett Carter said this week? And I'm going to pull it up. And in fact, normally I have this stuff pulled up so I can go ahead and read it. But I just pulled it up because this is a big deal. He basically said that he was not in shape for the game. I think just game shape is just different. You go through practice and all that, and there's no replicating the speed of the game, said Carter. Just for me, I need to get some extra running in and make sure my conditioning is where it needs to be just to play 4 quarters or however long the game will take. I realized that really early in the game, I need to get in better shape. It's something I've been attacking since the game. I'll definitely be ready for these next games this week. Now, I am going to put that in the middle of the comments section there or the live chat section. Go read it for yourself. But folks, I'm going to go ahead and tell you straight up. That guy right there, as the closer as we got to the season, that guy right there was on almost every major show that was talking about preseason players who had a great chance of doing well in the NFL this year. I read you his words. I didn't make those up. And I just put the link there. You can go look it up for yourself. Barrett Carter comments about his conditioning. You can Google that. Google Barrett Carter conditioning. Put it in there. Some of you are like, you haven't talked about Charleston Southern. Let me tell you about Charleston Southern. They're 1-0. They beat North Greenville, a small Baptist school, by 3 points. Okay? They have a first-year head coach. They fired Autry Denson, the all-time leading rusher in Notre Dame history. He was there for, 3 or 4 seasons, and they fired him last year after he only won 2 games. I think he's now with the Arizona Cardinals as a running backs coach. He'll probably be an NFL coach in 3 years. By the way, I met him one time. I don't know him personally, but I met him one time, and he was very kind to me. We just kind of crossed paths, and he didn't tell me who he was. And as we got to talking, I figured it out real quick. I knew who he was. Clemson's going to win that game even if they play terrible. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be pissed if I watch Clemson snap the ball and throw a 60-yard pass downfield against Charleston Southern, but they wouldn't do it against Duke. Once again, I've had people come in here and say Duke was playing too over the top. I created a play right off the bat here, right off the cuff. That would have fixed that. I've never coached football before. A lot of Clemson's problems right now, they are not calculus solution, calculus equation answers. Right now, a lot of Clemson's problems is 1 + 1 = 2 problems. You don't turn over the football twice within the 5-yard line. You don't shank a kick 25 yards out. You block when you see a guy lined up way outside, you make sure you chip him, right? At least get a piece of him. And so, folks, I'm just going to tell you this, and I got some comments coming in here. I'm going to talk about them in just a second. That comment by Barrett Carter just proved my point. You're not in shape. You're not in shape. What do you mean you're not in shape? Everybody on TV is talking about how you're a first rounder. How are you not in shape? Yeah, how did Lincoln, or not Lincoln, how did Riley Leonard break the tackle so easily with you and someone else on him? Yeah, that's a great question to ask, and I'm not coming down on Barrett Carter. See, Barrett Carter's only going to perform based on the leadership and the culture that is set around him. Remember, he's still in college. So I'm not coming down on him. I'm questioning the oversight of everybody on that football team at this point now. And the more and more I think about it, the defense, what were you doing? You gave up 28 points to Duke. What were you doing? You know, I gave them the benefit of the doubt all week, including a video I did today. But the more and more I think about it, I'm wrong. See, folks, I can say when I'm wrong. I was wrong. What was the defense doing giving up 28 points to them? Your offense was struggling. Why didn't you step up? And listen to me, folks. I want to throw this out there too. And I've got some questions. Tyler, you ask a great question. And I'm going to answer that. But I'm telling you straight up, to my knowledge, the only major difference on Clemson's football team relating to staff is Garrett Riley. Everybody else is the same. Maybe some more heads need to roll. Maybe somebody who's being paid $400,000 a year to be a positions coach needs to go back and coach at the local high school and make $60,000 a year. Maybe they need that. Maybe it was too much too soon for them. Maybe they knew the right person and the right person got them in, but they were wrong for the job. Clemson has fantastic athletes. And everybody's talking about the transfer portal, and I'm going to tell you this. And I saw somebody the other day talking about, well, they didn't have the transfer portal scholarships to offer. They only had like 3 scholarships. Yeah, and they went and got Bear Bryant's. And no offense to him, Bear Bryant's great-grandson. Maybe he was a walk-on. I don't know. But even if you do, listen to me, even if you do have 3 scholarships or 2 scholarships left, could you imagine? Now, I know we would not get Travis Hunter. He's on the Deion Sanders train. But can you imagine getting a Travis Hunter with just 1 scholarship? Can you imagine that? But see, what I've said to everybody is the transfer portal is not the problem. Dabo Swinney not going to the transfer portal is not the problem. What the problem is we cannot take care of the football. We are not explosive. We're not creative on offense. We don't even try on offense. we better praise anything that we think is sacred, that we have Will Shipley. Because if we didn't have Will Shipley, and I'll count Filmoff in there, he's had to sit behind Shipley. But if we didn't have Will Shipley especially, we would be a crap creek without a paddle. You can go to the transfer portal with the offensive play calls that we have right now, and you can go get Keon Coleman. And you know what he's going to be doing? He's going to be blocking as a wide receiver for that quick pass out to the right that they like to do, or the quick pass out to the left out in space to a slot guy. They would have him blocking. They would not have him going downfield winning the jump ball. That whole thing that went on with Florida State where he was jumping up, high pointing the ball and range, that wouldn't happen with Clemson. No. He'd be a blocker. Accept it. I disagree with Swinney on the transfer portal, but I disagree with a lot of you that the transfer portal is the answer to the problem. That is not the answer to the problems. We don't know the fundamentals of football on this team. This is a team full of 4- and 5-star players everywhere. Josh Pate, with the late kick with Josh Pate, put out some numbers about 2 months ago where he showed, according to blue chip players that are on football teams, the top 4 or 5 teams in the country. You want to know who the number one was? You want to know who the number one was? You don't have to think too hard. Alabama by far, even by far over Georgia. Georgia was next. One other team was next, and either at 4th or 5th place was Clemson Tigers. I'm talking about in the country. Clemson is still one of the most talented teams by 4 and 5 stars in the country. This is a development issue. And Barrett Carter's comments, and I just found out about this. I don't know how I missed this, folks. There's so much swirling around right now, and I keep up with other college football teams. Clemson's obviously my main team, duh. But I missed this. Barrett Carter admitted this. In fact, I might do a video on Barrett Carter's comments alone. But Tyler asked this question. You ask, Brian, just out of curiosity, let's say Clemson loses somehow tomorrow and loses bad. Are you on the Fire Dabo wagon? They're not going to lose tomorrow. I know that you said let's say Clemson does. Clemson's not going to lose tomorrow. Charleston Southern is that underman. They're going to. Are you on the Fire Dabo wagon? I would say read him as rights. That's what I would say. I still have a hard time saying fire a guy that has done that. But then again, if he lost to Charleston Southern, to me, there's too many ifs there. You know what I'm saying? There's too many ifs. I get what you're saying. They're not going to lose tomorrow. Trust me. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked when they come out tomorrow and next week and you see them maybe sling the ball downfield. Maybe the defense creates a turnover. And Clemson fans have a very short memory, by the way. Clemson fans have a very short memory. They lost to Duke, but let me tell you what's going to happen between now and 2 weeks from tomorrow when Florida State comes to town. Now, am I still pulling for my team? There's somebody out here who called me out and was like, you still pull for your team. I didn't say I wasn't pulling for my team. If I didn't pull for my team, I wouldn't be so ticked off right now that our team that is full of more talent than any other Clemson team except for those 2016, 2018, during that time frame. But any other time in history with Clemson in the 2000s and the 90s and everything, we have more talent than we've ever had. And we're wasting it. We're not developing it. I said yesterday we had players come into the program and coming right out of high school, they were catching the football better. They stay at Clemson for 1 year, and the next year they don't even have the hands to catch a football. What are we doing at Clemson? It sounds like some pay cuts needs to happen. And I have everybody saying that Dabo is calling the offensive plays or he's heavily influencing it. right now, folks. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I don't know if that is happening. If somebody can prove that, I would say this to him. I appreciate everything you've done for Clemson, but you were never a play caller. You were an administrator, figurehead that put the parts in the right places. You were not a play caller. You were a wide receivers coach. And the reason that you made the right moves is because you hired the right people. Stop calling plays. Let the professional play callers make those plays. And you sit back and collect the praise for it. That's fine if he does that. If he's the CEO type and he just brings in the right people, pay the man as long as they keep winning. But as soon as we start seeing piss poor play calls, and then there's rumors that he's calling the plays when he's got Garrett Riley, if that is the fact, or even if part of that is true. And I know people will say, well, the head coach does have the final say, so you have to deal with that. I get that. I get that, folks. Trust your hires or make better hires, period. This is whatever's going on is going on. Clemson's going to win tomorrow. Clemson will win tomorrow. And then Clemson will win against Florida Atlantic. And you know what? Everybody's going to get on this kind of feeling bad thing. You know what? We just need to pull for our boys and hope for the best. I do hope for the best. I hope that a miracle happens and they stop. Whatever is going on stops. But unfortunately, folks, I need to tell you this. This has been going on for 3 years now. This is going into year 4. And unless something drastically changes at Clemson, and that really starts in the coaching staff, Florida State is going to beat the living orange off of Clemson in 2 weeks from tomorrow. And it's not because Clemson doesn't have good players. We have fantastic players. It's not because Clemson doesn't have support and it doesn't have a good fan base. It's because its coaching has lost its identity, its intensity, and it has lost its direction and understanding that if you have a goal, you have to take the proper processes and actively pursue them every day to reach that goal. Here's one. This is going to offend some people, especially with certain people with certain ideologies and stuff, but they're wrong. If you have health goals, you can lift weights, but if you eat like trash, you're not going to fully see the results. If you eat really well, but you don't work out, you're not going to see the full results. My question is, why do we have to divorce the two? Why is it that why can't you just do both? If you fail one day, you know what? I failed, but I'm just pulling it all together. That is what is wrong with our football team. And it's the coaches. It's the coaches. It's the coaches across the. I'm now to the point to go across the board. Folks, I'm going to close this video down, and I'm going to do one more video. And I see there's 54 of you in here. And I'm going to ask you, if you will, to join me on the next video. Barrett Carter, the star linebacker at Clemson, made a comment 2 days ago. I don't know how I missed this. Y'all forgive me? That he admitted that his conditioning was not up to par. Period. He said that out loud. I shared the article. I'll share it here in the comments section. But I'm going to ask you to join me over there. By the way, if you want to support the channel and you want to do it for free, subscribe. It's free. Hit the thumbs up. Turn on the notification bell. If you want to subscribe on a monthly or join on a monthly basis and support the channel at either a $3 or $5 level, you won't even notice. You won't even notice it. Go for it. It really helped the channel, or a super thanks. Folks, I'm closing this video down, and in 5 minutes, I'll be back up on this channel talking about Barrett Carter's comments and what it really means. See you over there in just 1 second.